Hi, I'm Marshall from Ask Marsh. Today we're going to talk in the logistics tech decision-making mind map, briefly touch on timing, in particular on making decisions or implementing new technology during a crisis. A crisis can be something small, like something broke and you've got to replace it, or it can be something massive like COVID. A couple of key things to think of is it's not necessarily a bad time to make a new decision around tech in a crisis. Something's triggered it, something's prompted it. It might be time, it might be something that's been building up. You might have been waiting for an excuse to implement or introduce some new technology, and the crisis gives you the perfect cover to do that. Things are already shaking up. Let's just go and make a few changes, and we'll improve it for the long term. One of the risks, though, in making a decision during the crisis is making a decision for the crisis. So when you're looking at what the next steps are going to be with this new technology, is it going to solve a problem that only exists because the crisis exists? In which case, depending on the cost and depending on what the effect on the overall business might be, that may or may not be a good decision. But one important thing to look at is if the crisis hadn't occurred, how would this technology have been introduced in a different way? Or would it have been introduced at all? Would you have looked for a completely different solution? So one of the things we like to ask is, okay, now we think this is the right decision. These are the reasons we're doing it. Let's just take a step back. And if it had been 6 months ago and we were making the same decision, what would have been different? So not trying to second guess ourselves, but just trying to look at, had things been different, what we've been doing? Because whatever crisis you're in, it will end. We're not going to have this perpetual crisis that's going to go on for the rest of our lives. So it's important to look at what would have happened 6 months ago, what would happen now, but also in 6 months' time, the crisis is over. What's the effect of the decision we've got to make of this technology? Is it something that's not going to work for the long term? And again, that might be the right decision for your company, but it might not be. There might be a better decision we can make, something we can introduce that'll have a long-lasting benefit for the company rather than some sort of knee-jerk reaction. My name is Marshall Hughes. At Ask Marsh, we help companies make logistics technology decisions. And you can find out more at askmarsh.com. Talk soon.